Yeah, it seems quite quiet. If we can all speak, but we had the open introduction and the fact that we should hold for 5 minutes. So I expect the host, as indicated. We'll come back in 5 minutes. When the host comes back, then we hear ourselves. We are here now.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Good morning once again. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished personalities here present. I would quickly like us to give thanks to the Almighty God for making it possible for us to witness this beautiful day to discuss issues that are very pressing and central to the development of our economy as a nation. That being said, I also quickly like us to pay our allegiance to our country, our dear country, Nigeria, by observing the national anthem.
Okay, do you want us to sound it?
The national anthem will be sung.
Okay, we are good to go. You count 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
or it's going to be played.
Yes. Yes, God bless Nigeria, our dear nation. I welcome you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again to this very special occasion. I want to quickly recognize the presence of distinguished individuals here present. Of course, everyone here logged in here today is special. And because this topic is very important for the improvement and sustainability of our dear nation's economy, that is why we are gathered here today. On this note, please kindly permit me to recognize the distinguished presence of the President of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the President of Ashiwaju Dr. Olawale Michael Cole, CON, who will be ably represented by the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the person of Dr. Chinyere Almona, FCA. Recognize the presence of Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, the Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control. Professor Mojisola Adeyeye will be ably represented by Mr. Anyakop Anyakop. Mr. Anyakop Anyakop is the Deputy Director in the Drug Registration and Regulatory Affairs Directorate of NAFDAC. You're very specially welcome here, sir. I'd like to recognize the distinguished presence of Mr. Muhammad Maman Nami, the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services. Mr. Muhammad will be ably represented by Mr. Olufemi Olarinde, Technical Advisor to the Chairman. You're most welcome, sir. I'd like to recognize the presence of Mrs. Omomi Badamosi, Country Director, Nigeria Center for International Private Enterprise, SIPE. We welcome you here, madam. Yeah, Mr. Jerry Kalu, the President, Aba Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mines and Agriculture, ASIMA. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Liu Mustafa Muhammad, Director General, Kano Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Kasima. You're especially welcome here. Also, I'd like to recognize the distinguished presence of Mr. Sojia Pampa, Chief Executive Officer, Convention on Business Integrity. You're welcome, sir. President, officers, council, and members of sisters and bilateral chambers of commerce and industry, executive officers of all organized private sector, members of public-private working groups on FIRS and NAFDAC, officers and organized private sector, welcome you. But before I round this up, I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of a distinguished Honorable Ahmad Rabiu, National Vice President, NASIMA. You're most welcome.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
Okay.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so I'll quickly, without much ado, I would like to quickly call on Mr. Rotimi Oyelere to usher us into the background to this project, the purpose and the objectives of why we are gathered here today to discuss the issue on private sector sensitization workshop on NAFDAC and FIRS process. Mr. Rotimi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Izzy Okorafor, for the introduction. May I plead the indulgence of everyone on the call? Kindly permit me to stand on the already established protocol so that I won't have to go over them the second time. You are most welcome to this platform on this sensitization the processes of FIRS and NAFDAC. Just to give us a brief background to the project and the main reason why this workshop is put in place. As you may be aware, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, since it was established in 1888, has been championing advocacy in the area of ease of doing business, promoting causes that strengthen democratic governance, accountability, transparency, and support for efficient markets that generate sustainable economic growth and development, as well as shared prosperity. In line with the mandate and the mission of the Chamber, we are the support from the Center for International Private Enterprise in the year 2020 to carry out a research on transaction accountability, process consistency, and operational transparency on critical government agencies. The agencies that were covered include both national and state agencies. So the outcome of this exercise led us to take a further deep dive into the processes of NAFDAC and FIRS. This was as a result of the feedback we got from the private sector that NAFDAC and FIRS play very important roles in the economic space of Nigeria. In fact, especially the SMEs responded that their competitiveness, their productivity, and their ability to improve has a lot to do with the support they receive from NAFDAC and FIRS. Yet that does not connote the fact that other agencies at the national and state level play important role to their operation. Based on this feedback and outcome, we also discover that there seems to be some gaps between what has been provided by NAFDAC and FIRS for this context and the knowledge that the SMEs have. Inadequate awareness of tax regulations came out as one of the findings of this research, and inadequate utilization of technology and resources that have been provided. And even when these resources are provided and available, a number of businesses are finding it difficult to actually use these resources optimally. And of course, we cannot overemphasize the fact that SMEs are engine of growth and employment generation in Nigeria. Smedan report shows that SMEs in particular account for over 50% of overall economic activities and contribute as much as 80% to employment in Nigeria. Interestingly, a significant proportion of businesses in Nigeria belongs to the SMEs category, with these statistics underscoring the importance of MSMEs in Nigeria. So we now decided to embark on a follow-up project, which is titled Strengthening Private Sector Participation and Capacity to Effectively Support Post-COVID Economy Recovery. First, with this project, we intend to sustain the many gains that were recorded in the legacy project that was conducted in year 2020, as I mentioned earlier, and also to enhance the implementation of ongoing reforms within NAFDAC and FIRS. Alternatively as well is to intensify the support to Nigerian MSMEs so that they can function more optimally and their capacity to create jobs, their capacity to scale, especially in the post-COVID-19 era, will be further enhanced. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, effective, innovative, and quality regulatory functions we only guarantee expected outcomes of transaction accountability and operational transparency when the business sides are able to adequately engage with the processes and effectively utilize the resources that have been provided. In addition, SMEs ought to demand for quality services from government agencies and also give the agency feedback, quality feedback that will enhance, that will bring about continuous improvement. But these are very critical to our ease of doing business agenda. That is why this workshop has been put in place to intensify knowledge and also enhance the support that MSMEs, the SMEs, are able to leverage within NAFDAC and FIRS in the case of this workshop that is being put in place, so that they are more able to function optimally, and the capacity will be effectively enhanced, especially at this critical period in the global economy, especially, and also in our local economy. We are very optimistic that with this workshop, the businesses here present will have access to important information that they can leverage, they can continue to take advantage of in the course of their transaction with FIRS and NAFDAC. And we therefore plead with everyone on the call to listen, give a rapt attention to the presentation that will be and contribution from our partner agency, that is NAFDAC and FIRS. And we are very sure and we're very optimistic that at the end of this workshop, the knowledge within the SME space will be enhanced and our regulatory environment will become more effective and supportive. We want to thank you for your attention, and we hope to having a very robust discussion. Thank you very much. Eze, over to you.
Yes, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi.
Yeah, gone again. We're not hearing you. Either muted or the new normal challenge. You're back now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi, for that very insightful background into this event. We'll quickly delve into the core of why we are here. At this point in time, I would like to call on Mr. Olufemi Olarinde, Technical Advisor to the Executive Chairman, FIRS, to deliver his presentation on the process, technology and innovation for effective transactions that FIRS has put in place. Please, I would employ each and every one of us to listen attentively so that we can ask constructive and informed questions that will further enhance our knowledge on how to go about transaction in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. Olufemi. You have the floor.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting FIRS to this event and for having us make a presentation on what we do and what we are doing to make tax administration good for everybody and to ease compliance for taxpayers. The success of the business of businesses is the success of FIRS. Of course, without the businesses being thriving, FIRS, we have no work to do. And we want to see you thrive as a businessman so that we can also be able to deliver a mandate to our country. It's actually a time in this nation when everybody has to contribute his own bit so that we can reduce government borrowings. We also know that fossil fuels are no longer reigning again. A lot of people are getting alternative. And so the only sustainable means of revenue to fund our nation and to fund our budget is just tax revenue. And to this extent, FIRS is happy to collaborate with the LCCI and other partners and to make taxation easy for every businessman and make ease of paying taxes and ease of doing business. Thank you very much. I'll go straight to my presentation. I'll be sharing my screen right now. I have a short presentation to make. Oh, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, good. So, hold on, please. So, like the topic that was given to us to speak on, FIRS processes, technology, innovation for effective transaction. FIRS in recent time have introduced innovative reforms at digitizing tax administration processes in order to engender an effective and efficient tax administration and to promote voluntary compliance. So what is that which we introduced? I'm sure most of you have been hearing about the tax pro max. This tax pro max is an indigenous, and not just indigenous, it is a system that was developed by the FIRS in-house staff to ensure we can, for use in tax administration. And what makes it interesting is that we've been using other forms of automation before now, using other forms of technology before now. And whenever there is an issue and you need to amend it, you need to either run to France, run to America, run to UK for somebody to just tweak something on the system. So we are happy that someone within the system, within our system, in our employment, can sit down. People can sit down to develop this, and so as at any time taxpayers make any complaint, we can easily go back and address such. And what can this system do? It enables you to register. That's taxpayer registration. It enables taxpayer to file their returns. It enables taxpayer reporting and accounting. What it means is that if you have a tax credit note, deducted from somewhere, or you have a legacy credit note, it can be recorded on the system. And the system identifies it, and when raising assessment, it helps you account for those credit notes that the taxpayer has. And so that, and also another thing it does is that in the process of reporting and accounting, if a taxpayer is due, the system triggers that information. The taxpayer gets it. It's also stated on that taxpayer system. So at every point in time, the taxpayers log on to that system. You can see his tax profile, whether you are owing tax or not. And if you have payment to your credit, you will see it. So that is what reporting and accounting means. Also, it helps taxpayer go ahead after filing his returns, an assessment has been raised, he has reconciled with the accounting, with the system. You can go ahead to make payment, which means that the system actually is not a gateway. However, it links you to gateway of our partner payment aggregators. So you can use those payments, you can pay straight from the platform. Then a businessman needs to always have his tax status stated, because in many businesses these days, they ask you for a tax clearance certificate. This portal also allows you to apply for a tax clearance certificate. And if you're a businessman, you want to validate a tax clearance certificate that has been given to you. You want to verify if it is also original, was it issued by FIRS, or any other person, can go on to this portal, or even can go on to this portal to validate or verify your tax clearance certificate. So this, the tax promise does, like I said, it is an internally developed system. So as time goes on, we will continue to expand the functionalities of the portal, of the application. So how does this application work? You are supposed to go to the browser, enter the URL, https taxpromax www.taxpromax.firs.gov.ng. Then you go to the home page. I'm trying to see if I can launch that page for you from here. Maybe after explaining, I can do that. So you click on the login button to open the login page, enter your email address and password to log in. The taxpayer dashboard is displayed. So you have a dashboard that help you after registration. Then on the dashboard, you have to click taxes due. So if you want to pay or you want to file returns, because it's not about payment, you may, most SMEs, especially SMEs that are under the threshold or within the threshold of 25 million are not expected to pay taxes. However, are not expected to pay companies income tax. However, they are expected to file returns. So an SME who needs to file returns needs to log on to this system and file their returns. So you have to create a profile first before going ahead. And so your tax, so when you want to use, you see a system that says tax due. So the tax that is due that you want to file, you can go ahead. It says the system will automatically prompt you as taxpayers on taxes that are due under the taxes due on taxpayer. So about the time or about whenever your tax is due, you know there are due dates. The system prompts you and you can go ahead with that. So that is it with Tax Pro Max. I know I have just about 20 minutes, right? If not, I can take you into a step-by-step approach of the Tax Pro Max, but let's see if I still have more time afterwards. Or if they will give me more time, I can decide to do a demo for you. So the next one is talking about the FIRS taxpayer self-service operation. Now, why did we introduce this? A lot of taxpayers have complained that I am an SME, I don't even have money to, I don't have computers. I don't have computers, and so you are telling me I should go online. Why can't I just submit a manual returns? Because FIRS is actually going, we are digitizing our system. We don't want to encourage paper system, manual system plus electronic system. So we are encouraging everybody to go online. So as we are encouraging everybody to automate, to go online, FIRS has also provide systems in our offices that you, instead of you coming, bringing that manual document, you come there, you get a system, a PC with internet, and you file your returns yourself. Now, peradventure, you say, I don't even have the expertise. I don't have the wherewithal. I don't know about technology, and I don't care. I don't want to know. Another thing you can do is that you can, we have FIRS officers who are deployed to support taxpayers who may require help in using the equipment that have been stated there. So that has been, and what can you file there? You can file your tax returns, you can pay your taxes, you can apply and validate your TCC, and you generate your receipt and credit notes. So these are what you can do even on the self-service system. So I'll move to the next one, which is issue on corruption. In our last workshop and in most of the information, we've had encounter with people saying, oh, your officers are corrupt, your officers ask me for money, and what do you have in place to ensure that we don't run into these issues? And so FIRS set up what we call an anti-corruption unit. This is actually a mandate from the federal government that every agency should have something similar that is working. And so in FIRS, the head, the person who's superintend over that unit is the executive chairman himself. And we also have the coordinating director in charge of the executive chairman's office. What it means is that this is the man who actually also reviews for the executive chairman. It's a so he supervises this unit. And this unit is made up of members. It's like a committee So we have members from different departments and different groups in the service. Then they have the secretariat, which receives and review every submission that is given to them. Now, what is the redress mechanism process? A taxpayer who has a complaint is expected to make complaints to the service, whether through phone calls, emails, or even a physical visit to the unit secretariat. What happens afterwards? The secretariat carry out a preliminary investigation. So they go around trying to know, investigate what has been reported to them. After them carrying out that investigation, the secretariat collaborates. So in the process of that investigation, they collaborate with other relevant departments that probably this issue has come from or that need to know about it. So and also other agencies, such as the EFCC, the ICPC, the Department of State Security, and the Nigerian Police Force, where it is necessary. As much as they always try to conclude this issue within the service when it is necessary, so it doesn't mean that the service we want to shield its own. Service will reach out to the EFCC, ICPC, DSS, and even the Nigerian Police Force where necessary. Now, the Secretariat, after its investigation, we present an outcome of the investigation to the committee. So that it doesn't look like it's one set of persons that is doing all this job. They present to the committee who sits down and look at the issues. They will call whoever is concerned in this investigation and to ensure that the right action is taken. And afterwards, they will submit it to the executive chairman. The committee submits its report on the investigation to the executive chairman and the management of the FIRS for further action and directive. So this is the process. Now, for the email address, you can see it here, anti.corruption@firs.gov.ng. So if you wish to report any issue of corruption, corrupt matters, or you were not treated fairly, you can send to this number. Also, their phone number is as stated below, 09071666666 for your information. So the next one is the FIRS in February this year commissioned a state-of-the-art contact center. So this contact center is to receive complaints from taxpayers. Also, aside from complaints, if you need a quick advice, they also give. But when the advice becomes a bit complex, they will have to refer it to the experts. That is the relevant department who can give such a response. And they ensure to do that within 48 hours. I know their own reporting time is 24 hours, but at most, like I said, is 48 hours for that response. You can see the contact number, which is 0946027700. That is the contact number. And we also have social media handles that are very active. We are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitter, and we are live on Instagram. So, like we said, in this, know it, remember it, and share it. That's our contact center. And on this note, I'll say thank you very much for giving me the floor to make this presentation. I will await your question at this time. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Technical Advisor to the Executive Chairman, FIRS, Mr. Olufemi Olarinde, for that very insightful presentation. I'm sure we have gotten one or two things that I would want to ask, but definitely you can trust that you have done justice to the process, technology, and innovation have been put in place by FIRS in ensuring that transaction throughputs are scaling in the aspect of the payment of taxation in the country. Thank you very much. Going forward, I'll quickly like to recognize and call on Mr. Anyakop Anyakop. Mr. Anyakop Anyakop for his presentation. He is a Deputy Director in the Drug Registration and Regulatory Affairs Directorate of NAFDAC. Mr. Anyakop currently heads the NAFDAC Regulated Product Automated Database, NAPAD, and the NAFDAC Automated Product Monitoring and Administration System, NAPAMS, that house the e-registration portal for NAFDAC regulated products. Mr. Anyakop holds a Bachelor of Technology in Industrial and Food Microbiology from FUT Akure and postgraduate certifications in Food Safety Risk Management from USFDA and University of Maryland, USA. Mr. Anyakop, we are very pleased to have you in our midst today to deliver your presentation and expose those good things that have happened in terms of NAFDAC process, the technology, the innovations that have been put in place to ensure that transactions with NAFDAC are seamless. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Anyakop at this moment for his presentation. You're very welcome, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your rapt attention. I would encourage each and every one of us to pay even closer attention as Mr. Anyakop comes off the stage. You're welcome, sir. You have the floor.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Anyakop Anyakop. I'm representing the Director General NAFDAC, and I'm going to on behalf of the agency. I'm sure by the time we are done, we'll have questions. I also have directors, deputy directors who are representing the agency, and they will be here to address every concern that be raised in the course of this presentation. Thank you very much. I hope we can see my screen now. Please confirm that my screen is visible.
We very clear, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So the presentation is on enhancing the regulatory system in NAFDAC Nigeria. And have the outline shown up there. The NAFDAC mandate, we also to primarily control the manufacture, importation, exportation, distribution, advertisement, sale, use of food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, packaged water, and chemicals. These are what we call generally referred to as NAFDAC regulated products. We also have a number of other amendments that support our work and empower us to carry out our responsibilities. Now, first of all, we look at our institutional reform strategies over a period of time. The DG's efforts, agency-wide position.
It appears we've lost Mr. Anyakop.
In line with global best practices. In 2019, in March, just last month, we were able to achieve the WHO Global Benchmarking Team Maturity Level 3. We live in Africa that are having that level of maturity. So NAFDAC just got that in 2022 March, and that has opened up a whole lot of opportunities for the agency in other areas of regulatory space. The other regulatory system initiatives have been able to put down there, and is by all means not exhaustive. We have the upgrading and accreditation of our laboratories. All our laboratories are ISO, they are accredited, and they are ISO certified. We also have the creation of separate directorates for food and registration. So presently now we have food registration and regulatory affairs, and we also have drug registration and regulatory affairs, to enhance efficiency. We also have the decentralization of registration activities. And so in the zones, people who are registering their products from the states or from the zones, 6 geopolitical zones, not necessarily need to bring their products to Lagos before they can get them registered. We also have enhanced process of automation and electronic interface. Generally, the current DG is very passionate about the use of technology, and that has enhanced our operations. Basically, she has been able to bring technology to bear on our operations. For instance, we are currently running an end-to-end registration process. We'll come to that more. We're also having a lot of other regulatory activities, networking or dovetailing into each other using technology. And that makes for transparency, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. The theme, the motto of the agency is customer focused, agency minded. So the focus has been to satisfy the customer, and that has been manifested during the tenure of the present management. Also, we have enhanced process automation. We have institutionalization of product traceability in the supply chain. This is an ongoing process, which means that will have traceability features that will enable us to beat counterfeiting very, very significantly. This is also ongoing with the capacity to in the international community. Also, we have collaboration. This meeting with this event we are holding with NSI is part of the collaborative efforts. And there are a lot of other collaborative initiatives that the agency is putting in place, with the national, local, and regional organizations towards the achievement of this goal. National regulatory system optimization. We have promotion of regulatory cooperation, convergence, and transparency through networking, work sharing, and reliance. I will just speak a bit briefly, one sentence to that. Presently, when a product is registered in developed countries, what we call SRA countries, stringent regulatory authority countries, and they share their documentation with us. NAFDAC, the prerogative of relying on their judgment to grant expedited approval to such products in our own regulatory space here. So that makes for speed, and it reduces the time, and it makes the product to become available to the consumer than it ever have been. So we have capacity building, consistent global regulatory practice. The agency goes through a lot of activities to build capacity, both as a system and also on behalf. So we have one of the very significant achievements in that is the fact that all our regulations have been gazetted. We have about 28 of them, and they have all been gazetted. So we are working with, we have legal provisions that are being, and it's 2021 that we had all of them gazetted. And then we also have sustained management for effective regulatory system performance. The current DG is very personal and particular about the way the system runs. And so she interacts directly with the staff, and so she gets into some detail to know what is going on at every point. And she doesn't fail to wield the big stick when the day arises in order to keep the agency that is in shape. Activities in optimizing our processes are process improvement and quality validation of the NAFDAC processes to ensure timely access to quality regulated products. Our processes are constantly being improved upon. Our consistently, both locally, internally, and nationally. Also, we have capacity building through technical support, training, and network. We also have continuous monitoring and documentation of processes, outcomes, and aids. Talking about capacity building, we have, the DG has opened
Hello, Mr. Olufemi, we lost you. I'm sorry, Mr. Nyakop, we lost you.
Hello. Can you hear me now, please?
All right. Yeah.
I suddenly got muted. Somebody must have muted me, and I have lost my screen. Okay, let me try to share it back again. Okay, hear me now. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes, it's coming up.
Okay, so I continue.
Okay, we can see.
We have, okay, thank you. We have sustained collaboration with external stakeholders. WHO has been very magnanimous working with us in capacity building in various aspects of our regulatory work. And we probably would not have been able to get this far without those kind of support. All right. Now, out of my palms, that is where I actually belong, and I can talk briefly on it. I will talk a bit in passing on aspects of our work, and I'm just doing that by mention so that the directorates of NAFDAC who are represented here will actually speak to, try to focus a little bit more on NAPAMs. Basically because it is the deployment of technology in our registration process. Over time, we now have what we know as version 2, an improvement on what we had in version 1. And the NAPAM system is continuously being improved and being enhanced to become the line is breaking.
Yes. But we can hear you now. Go ahead.
So I was saying that NAPAM's, the website is a deployment of technology to enhance our regulatory processes. We started version 2 sometime in 2019, and this has been able to append a lot of other processes on it. For instance, we have e-payment, we have what we call E2E, that's end-to-end registration. Currently, an applicant will stay in the convenience of his house and submit an application for registration. and we can interact electronically until the point where we just log in and pick up his certificate. That is happening presently, and our marketing authorization holders are just excited over it. We also have customization for MSMEs, and so the system is actually broken in favor of small and medium enterprises, and is more friendly, user-friendly, and is in the course of in continuous state of improvement all the time. It's also compliant with global best practice. We need to just point out that NAPAMS is a bespoke system. It was created by Nigerians. We made it here, and we put together to build. We didn't just go anywhere to buy it. We sat down and packaged it, and it's actually good news that it's running to meet our regulatory needs. Now, we know NAPAMS is not new to those of us in the chambers of commerce, and so I'm not going to bore you with much of the details about how to register a product. Those who need that can always get back to us, and we will tell them, also because of the time. But basically, we know that there are three basic steps. One, applicant will need to log in and register his profile on the NAPAMS platform. Two, applicant will initiate the registration of his product by logging in and then clicking on the registration form and filling and submitting. He will also make payments online. And then thirdly, he can sit down and monitor the status of the product in the course of the registration and even afterwards. Other optimization efforts, initiatives on NAPAMS are special pathways for MSMEs, including inspection and laboratory pathway. We also have what the DG told us to do, support in Lagos State Office, for instance. Applicants, customers, MSMEs, they are able to walk into the office and they have support desk. People sit down and guide them through the process of registration. And then we also have integration of the laboratory and the inspection module. It's an ongoing process. So that why is it?
Yeah, we lost you again, Mr. Nyako. Is it possible you do not project? I think you might be having a problem with your bandwidth.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. I will send this presentation to us in the course of time. Can we all hear me?
Very clear.
Okay, fine. So customers can walk in to our offices and we guide them into the registration process. And that has been going on for the past 2 years in our Lagos State office and in other offices in the zones. Then now NAPAMS is also designated as the exclusive registration pathway for all regulated products. So we don't pull anything out. This includes variation approvals, fast track and administrative approvals, and even for global listing for regulated products. This is also in process. There's also the combo and multimedia help desk support team. What I mean is we have a very robust help desk support team on NAPAMS. It's a combo meaning that we have a combination of our IT support, we have regulatory staff, and then of course we have our service providers, the NAPAMS developers in a group that is always funding, and we try to respond within 24 hours to all complaints that come in order to resolve customer issues. And this has really worked. We also have a system integration ongoing, and some of them are already in place. We have integration with single trade window. So when clients get their products registered, they don't need to log in again and connect with the customs. The system is already, we have what we call single trade window. So the system will be able to network And the applicant will just go to his bank and say, open form M for me, or open a letter of credit for me. I want to ship. And then from the banks can have access to NAFDAC registration system and pull out the relevant products that are involved, to interact with the customs, and then enhance business process for the importer or the manufacturer. We also have NAPAMS integrated with the registered product database, and also NAPAMS integrated with the dossier clearance system in NAPAMS for drugs. And also NAPAMS also integrating, is an ongoing process integrating with the single trade window. Okay, I've said that many other details having to do with NAPAMS e-registration, we have the information and we'll make them available at any point in required. I want to quickly talk on the Office of Trade and International Relations. This was approved by the DG, or set up by the DG, to handle international trade related issues for regulated products. And so people have issues maybe internationally or even locally, MSMEs who export their products and have issues. This office has dedicated staff who handle their issues and ensure that their challenges are resolved within the stipulated time. We also have active social media presence. NAFDAC is on Twitter. We are on TV. We are on Facebook, and all the social media apps and handles. NAFDAC is very active. Also, we have DG's quarterly meetings with stakeholders, MAN, PMG MAN, NAROFARM, FBT, NASON, and so on, to address issues. The DG holds quarterly meetings. All these are run in the Office of Trade and International Relations. I'll talk about perception and intelligence gathering. The Planning, Research and Statistics Directorate of NAFDAC handles issues that have to do with perception, customer perception index, transparency index, and all those things. They are priority in the PRS Directorate, and they have enough information to address all issues having to do with perception of our activities. They conduct perception study to ascertain clients' perception of the agency in respect of ease of doing business. They refer challenges identified to relevant directorates for resolution. They also carry out sensitization workshop in collaboration with relevant directorates for MSMEs to resolve identified challenges. This doing the enhance the ease of doing business. They also carry out intelligence gathering. That's part of their mandate. And they carry out training of relevant staff on intelligence as related to PBEC, that is a Presidential Enabling Business Executive Council issues. And then they put in place mitigating factors that will enhance the ease of doing business. Feedback mechanism. We have enhanced social mainstream media presence, social and mainstream media presence. We have Semicom desk in all the directorates. We have heard about that when the FIRS man was giving his. We have the anti-corruption and transparency unit, and their work is to get into the system and explore areas that need strengthening and boost transparency and ensure effectiveness and efficiency. We also have 24-hour.
Hello, Mr. Jacob.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, the thing logged me out again. So we have, I have a few minutes. We have a 24-hour feedback and response to complaints. So what we do is to make sure that within 24 hours, all complaints that come into the agency are resolved, and feedback is granted to the complainants, and that has been working for us. And then we also have post-market surveillance and to enhance our feedback and response mechanism. And then to have management commitment to customer complaints. In conclusion, NAFDAC has remained customer focused and agency minded through institutional strengthening of regulatory systems to enhance responsiveness to regulatory challenges. We shall continue to maximize opportunities to enhance capacity and improve efficiency, especially with our increasing global recognition as a regional leader in food and drug regulation. We shall also appreciate collaborative initiatives by non-government sectors that will strengthen our regulatory efficiency and promote accessibility to safe and efficacious medicines and wholesome food and other products, both nationally and globally. In my presentation, I have added useful links to NAFDAC website, e-registration site as the NAPAM site, and the relevant email addresses and other details that are relevant to stakeholders and MSMEs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jacob. You've done very good justice to the topic. You've made us become more aware of the mechanisms that have been put in place and improved upon by NAFDAC to ensure that the business ecosystem is even more friendly for everyone to thrive. Yeah, at this point in time, I know we have a lot of questions. I'm seeing a lot of hands raised, a lot of charts, concerns chat on the box. At this point in time, I'll quickly just want to call on Mr. Soji Apampa, who is going to be moderating the Q&A session. Mr. Soji Apampa, Chief Executive Officer, Convention on Business Integrity. He will be moderating the Q&A session. Mr. Soji?
Yes, I'm right here.
You're most welcome, sir.
Yeah, but actually, we don't have too many questions in the question area. So maybe I should call on participants to quickly put their questions in there. One question was about having copies of the presentations. I think we can safely answer that question, that will be made available by LCCI in due course for all those who registered. I believe. Am I correct, sir?
You're very correct, sir.
Okay, so we can deal with that one. Same thing. The next question in there is the same thing, but there's an anonymous attendee that asked the question: what is your collaboration with the Nigerian Trademark Registry? Your minimum requirement of notice of acceptance does not confer ownership of the mark to the owner, because such mark is still open to opposition even after the issuance of notice of acceptance. I believe that is a question to NAFDAC. Is there so Mr. Ayanko, please, is there some kind of collaboration with the trademark registry?
Yes, we actually have the interagency cooperation with the trademark agency. We are also looking forward to more interactions like we have with NAFDAC. I mean, all agencies interact electronically so that NAFDAC database can speak to the trademark agency database. That has not actually come to be yet, but that's also in process. So yes, the question that was asked is very correct. acknowledgement and acceptance of a trademark does not confer full ownership to the owner of the trademark. But we all know that issues of trademark take time. When somebody applies for a trademark, he has to, the trademark office has to publish it within 21 days for people to accept or reject or challenge the trademark before the trademark office accepts those trademarks and then communicates to the applicant. Even after that time, such trademarks are subject to challenge until the trademark certificate is conferred on the owner. But because NAFDAC operations are also time related, the space of 21 days, taken out of the regulatory timeline for an applicant is quite a significant period of time. So to be able to get in between this, what NAFDAC does is to accept the acknowledgement and acceptance temporarily and then use it to progress the registration process. We always communicate with the applicant to go back to the trademark office and get a full certificate. What happens is that we've had cases like that where clients come back and say, I was the first to register, but I did not have a certificate. And somebody else comes behind and then gets a certificate. And by law, we actually defer to the person that has a certificate because that's the true owner of the trademark. But we are also working with the trademark office, and we're looking forward in future to a period where the system will be so interconnected that this NAFDAC will be able to speak to the trademark database and determine whether the trademark is available for a particular name or a mark is available or not, and then we'll be able to, further expedite our process. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. This question, the next question would be for Mr. Olufemi Olarinde. I think some people have asked about the TCC button, that it is not activated on the Tax Pro Max, and they would like to know why this is the case. So this is a question from Inolaji Nofiu, and I think it had also been asked by one Mr. Okafo earlier. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I tried to answer that question on the question and Q&A session. I'm sure people have been applying for tax clearance certificate online because we do not issue manual tax clearance again for many years now. So I just would like to know when he tried and it didn't work. And also I have a colleague who is also on this call, who is actually in operations and is on the field. He is based in our field office. I'd like him to come in. Mr. Chinedu Adirije is on the call. Mr. Chinedu, if you're there, please, you can also respond.
Okay, thank you very much. I know what they are asking of. Now, if you go to tax,
we can't hear you, sir.
Mr. Chinedu? Okay, well, I guess
you will not see the. We have two.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We didn't hear you before. Can you start?
I heard you. I heard you. I want to respond.
Okay, go on, please.
Okay, now, yes, if you go to the Tax Pro Max portal, there are two portals. One, we call it the e-services. It's also a Tax Pro Max portal. So there are two portals specifically. The one where you do your normal returns, you cannot apply for TCC on that portal. But if you go to the Tax TCC portal, then you can apply for TCC. So there are actually two portals to say that go side by side. The same login you use in registering for your Tax Pro Max, if you use it to log in on the application side, then you're able to apply. I don't know if that is clear. So they might not be able to. Did you get that, Pastor G?
Yes, I got that. I got that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I guess that answers the question.
Okay. We also have a question about E2E registration. I guess it's a question for NAFDAC, and is asking whether there is any inspection involved in E2E registration.
Yes. Inspection is involved. All our product registration is statutory that NAFDAC has to inspect the facility where the product is being made. But when I say E2E, it means that there is, NAFDAC does not just sit in the office and approve products. We still carry out our due diligence. We get in touch with the applicant. But when we are done, the end product, the output of that approval gets to the applicant, electronically. So we carry out inspection, we assess the facilities, we draw samples and send to the lab, and we also communicate with the applicant in respect of the product or the system that they have. Thank you.
Okay. One more question for you before you go, sir. It says for registration of medical devices for SMEs, we were made to understand that you register with SON yearly, Intertech yearly, and also register with NAFDAC, after which you will still pay inspection fee of $10,000 per product to NAFDAC, apart from the registration fee. These costs are rather on the high side and don't encourage SME businesses. How do we move forward, please? This was by Itunu Elutade.
I think my director of PRS is in the call, and he may wish to respond to that question, sir.
Director PRS, sir.
Mrs. Ajayi, could you step in to respond to that, please?
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh. Okay, for registration of medical devices for SMEs, we were made to understand that you register with SON yearly, Intertech yearly, and also register with NAFDAC, after which you will still pay inspection fee of $10,000 per product to NAFDAC, apart from registration fee. These costs are rather on the high side and don't encourage SME businesses. How do we move forward?
First, what I would say is I don't know about the, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so I cannot say much about SON and Intertech, but what I know is that for the registration of medical devices, we have the tariff on our website, and then we have the requirements, the guidelines on our website. Now, the figure the person is quoting, I don't know where the person got the figure for, because he said for local. Is it for an imported product or local product? So the person needs to really clarify the question, but I don't think what the person is asking for, that figure is not correct, sir.
It would appear to
and there's
be
no yearly payment
for
registration if it's listing. Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you, ma.
If the product is registered under listing, which is, it has 2 years validity, and if it's registered under full registration, it has 5 years validity. There's nothing like a yearly payment to NAFDAC for the registration of a product.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Ajayi. One One of my colleagues wants to speak to it. Dr. Otunde Shibeku, could you please come in and speak to that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Yanko. Well done for the presentation. And I want to acknowledge the organizer of this very, very important program. We appreciate your effort. I'll quickly speak to that question. I want to let us know that there is a lot of mix-up in that question. One, medical devices is not categorized under SME. It's a very, very sensitive product that cannot be under small and medium scale. That is one. Two, is most of the medical devices we have in the country, majority are imported. I guess that is why the questionnaire is talking about $10,000. A quick correction to that is that $10,000 is not payment per imported product. No. $10,000, the actual amount is $10,989.01. And it is per facility. So what does that mean? If you are importing from company A in US or China or London or Malaysia, whichever country, once it is outside Nigeria, it could be Togo, it could be Benin, it could be Cameroon. Once it is outside the territory of the sovereignty of Nigeria, you are paying as international products. And the inspection fee, I guess, is what the questionnaire wants to quote, which is $10,989.01 US. That is the cost to inspect the facility. You can have up to 4, 5, 20, 30 products from the same facility. The charging for overseas GMP is per facility. It is the local that is per line, which is way down cheaper, 40,000 naira. So the first point of clarification is that medical device is not under small and medium scale. We don't consider medical device as small and medium scale at all. They are very serious medical equipment. When we talk about medical device, we're talking about syringe, injections, and all other facilities they use. That the sterility is a key factor in that product. It must be 100% sterile, free of pathogens, and even free of any microbes. So it's not what we classify under SME. Now, conclusively, let me call it out that there are some medical devices due to overlaps of function with SON and other sister agencies that fall under their purview. NAFDAC can't do anything to that until when laws are reviewed. However, you look at such products as overlapping products, like street, like kits for dialysis and all those other products. They are high-profile medical products. And I think SON look into it based on the equipment part of it. While NAFDAC look at it based on the medical function, the sterility, and the effectiveness of the product. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether it is you, but, well, there are still more questions for NAFDAC. Let me just say. One question which I think we can dismiss almost immediately is, please, what is the procedure for online registration of products with NAFDAC? I thought that was the whole purpose of today's presentation, to expose some of these things. So I'm not sure how we would deal with that question. So let me move on to the next question, which is, please, why is it somehow difficult to register SMEs? And what is the range of the cost base on the sizes of the company? So I think Wahab Abiono would want you to define SMEs, because we just heard now that if it is medical equipment, it is too sensitive for an SME. Therefore, you are not SME if you are bringing in medical equipment. I also heard when it was said to a small company that was importing some organic fertilizer that, importation is not for SMEs. Therefore, they were not treated as SMEs. Can we have some clarification around what is an SME from NAFDAC's point of view? And who is not an SME? Because it appears to be not a question of size, it's a question of activity as well. Can it be clarified for us, please?
Hello. I think that Mr. Yankob can step into that unless he is not readily online.
He is online looking at us, Mr. Yankob.
I thought you did not see me.
We can see you. That medicine did not work.
Okay, so we have what we know as the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDAN. On their website, they stipulate the requirements for what an SME is. We borrow a leaf from their guidance in terms of the size of the company and the number of staff that make up the company. But also in NAFDAC, we also have a category, a set of products that can be run by MSMEs. You have to be a micro or a small scale to be allowed to register or manufacture such products. And the basic reason is because by virtue of their capacity, there are some high-risk products that micro scale or kitchen industries cannot be allowed to produce and register because they do not have the GMP capacity to manufacture such products. And so we have on our website the list of products that are covered that can be registered by MSMEs is on the website. The guidelines for product registration and the tariff for all registered products is also on the website. I don't have those figures right in my head here because it's not part of my own calling. But the guidelines for registration of all categories of products is also there. In NAFDAC, we use risk-based categorization to determine who registers what. And so on the basis of that, it's not just everybody that can just come in and pick up a product and I want to register it. No. And so those are the issues. For the person who asked how to register a product, just visit our website. The guidelines for registration of all kinds of products is there stipulated along with the tariffs. Now, for those of us who are MSMEs, depending on your type, we have this micro, we have the small, then we have the medium enterprises. There's a level of company capacity that you have that qualifies you to be able to register a product or not to register. I don't think I can exhaust that question in this space. The person who has such additional probing questions can come over to us and we'll be able to guide them. We have an MSME desk in NAFDAC that handles some of these concerns. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now, let me quickly add to what my colleague has said. For the public, because I try to look at the terrain, the profile of participants in this workshop, and I guess there are people that are really driving the economy, and we need to make a lot of clarification for them. And with what my colleague has said, the agency is seriously customer focused, and we want our customer to know the right thing to do at the right time. Let's be clear, when we talk of micro, small, medium scale enterprise, like my colleague said, there are some products that are classified under that policy, which are just the conventional product that if you go by the former NAFDAC management rule, like telling somebody that produce small chops, somebody that produce fried plantain, somebody that produces bread or cookies, and we are telling them to have 5 rooms for GMP assessment, it looks killing. So fried plantain is a thing you can do in a decent 1 room or perhaps in your kitchen. Once safety is built into it, then we can register you so that you can access supermarket and push the product. It is expected that such a small-scale enterprise will be growing. As you grow, you develop, you expand. And as you expand, you aspire to get to international level. Bring in more devices that will make your processes faster, easier, and safer. So that is the concept. So we don't expect somebody under MSME to be an importer. Okay? Struggling guy doesn't import. I don't think so.
I don't think small and medium enterprise means you're struggling. I think this is the correction NAFDAC has to make. It is a choice about the size of organization.
Of the company, but in our own perspective, not all regulated products can be classified under small scale. The finger leaves, small chops, the farm produce like ogbono, processed, dry pepper, all these local things that we can do on our own are generally under the small scale. You can do them. But when it comes to pharmaceutical, you want to produce multivitamin, you want to produce active ingredients for pharmaceutical, you want to can food, you want to carbonize a drink, you want to produce yogurt, you are culturing with microbe, you are going into technical aspects, which may not allow you to be under small scale in the context of small number of staff, little or no equipment. Because somebody frying plantain or sweet potato, all they need is his or her gas and a frying pan.
No, that's the description of the micro enterprise is clear. We understand that. But when we now come to small and medium enterprise, and we look at the range, small and medium enterprise for can be turning over 100 million, a medium enterprise. So if you're saying you cannot be classified as SME if you're involved in certain activities, and yet you can set up your processes and have the right kind of environment and still be an SME, is what I'm saying. But it's not a debate for today, sir. Because yes, according to your current definition is what you are giving us the guidelines, and we accept that, sir.
Yeah, let me quickly conclude by adding that the numbering series, the NAFDAC numbering series for micro and small medium scale products is different from the actual popular market authorization NAFDAC number. But like you said, sir, and like my colleague said, what I would want to encourage, people see NAFDAC like when you go to the office, you will disappear, you will be crushed, you will be destroyed. No, please, I want to employ all participants on this workshop to please see NAFDAC like every other human being or every other offices you can enter. We have a small scale desk, come in, ask questions, then give us a feedback. When you come, you ask your question, we answer it, we give you guidelines. You will be given another form to fill and give us a feedback. Like the feedback you are giving me now is something we can collate and review and represent to the management so that we can equally look into that angle and see possibility of reclassifying or reviewing the regulation. So, but when people don't come to NAFDAC, you just give money to one consultant somewhere, and the consultant will be billing you 500,000 to come and collect guidelines in NAFDAC, and you are saying NAFDAC fee is too much, then something is wrong somewhere. I won't blame somebody you are sending an errand, he will charge you for the errand. But please let some more courage to enter any NAFDAC office throughout the Federation. Demand for the small and medium scale officer there, ask your question, and please take time to complete the customer feedback form. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me give NAFDAC an opportunity to just drink some water for a few minutes. Let's go to FIRS. There's a question here saying, morning, sir. My company, Royal International Products, Jos Plateau State, has a TIN number that is clashing with another company. All efforts to resolve this issue in FIRS office in Jos proved abortive. What should I do? This is from Christian Chukwemeka. So I know you are ready, Mr. Olufemi. Please go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that should be possible because the thing would have been registered with a unique identification, which is probably the certificate of incorporation. So I'm just wondering how that has happened. I'm not sure. Did he go to the office and they said it's clashing? And if it's on the score, I will appreciate if you can send me the thing and his name. It's short, something I can easily do. Also, we have it, what's it called? There's a place where you can verify your TIN too on our e-services. You can verify your TIN yourself, and I think that is something you can do and get back. But I would like to address that issue from the headquarters here.
Can I ask the person who raised the question to either send a direct message now to Mr. Olarinde? If you're unable to do so, can you send a request to your Chamber of Commerce so that they can channel it on your behalf immediately to Mr. Olarinde? Would that be acceptable, sir?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Anytime I get it,
okay,
I
sir.
can easily address it. Yeah, it's simple.
Thank you very much. Somebody also asks that can one get receipts and TCC after the use of the self-service station?
Definitely you can. Actually, after the first question, I've tried to go to that portal myself too. And I can see there's TCC. In fact, once you sign on to that portal, you see where it says eTCC, e-receipts, so when you click on which one you are looking for, it can generate your receipt for you and your credit note. So you can always get it after it's available.
Fantastic. We have a question from Samuel Bolaji that despite the exemption of companies below 25 million turnover, whenever an SME files VAT on the tax pro, the company is still charged VAT. We hope that this exemption should be incorporated into the tax pro system, but the reverse is the case.
Okay, now what I want to, what many of them probably have been doing. Now, I'm sure that where there are conditions, where there are provisions for things in the law says you are exempted from VAT. Probably it's a company, we need to first be sure, probably it's filing legacy VAT. Maybe he had not filed before, and his turnover was more than, because that's what I keep on getting, that oh, we filed returns and the system is telling us to pay. If your turnover, the system is synchronized that once your turnover is less than 25 million, the system will not ask you to pay VAT. So what the system wants you to do is just to file your returns. But once your turnover is more than 25 million, it will ask you to pay. So we questions like this, we need to probably get it right, because the system will not be programmed It's not program to charge VAT from such persons, except the system has further information. Like now, a taxpayer comes to claim it does not have up to 25 million turnover. Now, such taxpayer have done a contract somewhere, and they have charged the taxpayer what we call the withholding tax. And the withholding tax credit note to the tune of more than let me say that is 10% or 5% of it is more than 95% is more than 25 million. You know, the system is an intelligence system which also synchronizes information from other angles. It will definitely ask you to, it will charge you a VAT that may not be on what you're filing, and sometimes even income tax. So it's an intelligence system too that may be working. So there are a lot of factors that may contribute to this. But maybe if the taxpayer has a genuine claim on this, we can look into it. But I know the system is not configured to charge who is not supposed to file. Some I've gotten a question on even companies' income tax. A company said it's not up to 25 million. However, it went to file income tax and is being asked to pay tax. Now, such company filed income tax outside, is filing years that has passed. And what the system says, what the law says is that you are only exempted to the fact that you have filed your returns. So if you have done business for the past 3 years, you've never filed income tax returns, and because you have a contract, you are looking at a contract you want to collect, and you need a tax clearance certificate, you quickly went to process tax clearance certificate for the past 3 years, and you are saying you are under 25 million threshold. The system will not recognize the other years which you have failed to file as you being under the threshold. The system will ask you to pay because you have not filed as at when due, aside from the penalty that's going to calculate for you and all those things. So probably this may be the issues they are having. I think we need to get the question. Thank you.
Okay, I can see that Mr. Chinedu Adirije of FIRS has his hand up, but I will ask the one more question. How do we claim back our tax credits in form of withholding tax from FIRS, as most corporate customers will never allow you to charge VAT and withholding tax on any transaction?
Okay, that's go.
Understand the question.
Okay, thank you. Normally, when you do some contract with MDAs or the oil companies, we ask them to withhold the VAT that you charged, and we also ask them to withhold the tax credit note from you. Now, if you, in course of your business with any of those agencies, and you're less than 25 million, you are saying that, okay, they've charged you withholding tax credit, you're not supposed to pay, no issues. There is a way you can ask for a refund of your money, which that is a process which you need to write to the tax office, to take it to the head of, we're able to look all through. For that period, yes, you didn't exceed 25, you're not supposed to pay that, then you'll be refunded one. If you don't want to be refunded, we can give it to you as credit for you to actually use to offset your tax liability in the further years to come. If you also does not want to apply, and the credit is there for you, God might help you 1, 2, 3 years later, your listing might grow more than 25 million, and you might still need to come back, because withholding tax is not actually a tax, but rather an advance payment for your company income tax, which you use to offset your tax liability. So the money is there in the portal. You can use it 4, 5, 10, any other time, you can still use that money. But I just wanted to talk a little back of people that says they want to file VAT and they are not up to 25 million. Some people, that's why they're not 25 million, they go to charge VAT. The truth, you're supposed to return the money. You're supposed to file and pay the money back to government. Because you are less than 25 million, doesn't mean you go and charge VAT and you eat the money. It's not your money. If you like do 1 million naira business and you charge VAT on it, you remit it. If you don't remit it, we will know. So the main thing is, if you're not up to 25, you think your turnover is not up to 25, you're not supposed to charge VAT. Then the company you put invoice to is supposed to do reverse VAT charge. They were able to charge on your behalf and remit. But we see a lot of time, a lot of people go to charge that VAT, they want to put it in their pocket. You cannot put government money in your pocket. Once you charge, whether you're 25 million or you're supposed to file it, then some people to choose to file, whether they are less than 25 million or not. So it depends on what you're filing. And a whole lot of this is on the system. So if you put a turnover of 10 million naira and you didn't say you're not 25 million, where you put that they are not vatable, the system will automatically charge you. So if you don't understand it, like what Mr. Olufemi said, come to the office. We'll have a tax pro max that will sit down and help you and arrange everything that you will not have an issue. So most times, if you don't get anything, there's contact center, call them, you're able to explain for that to you. But if you can't get to the court that you have any nearest FIRS, there are desk officers that will be able to explain to you, probably open your portal and show you the right thing to do for you to VAT so that the system will not charge you when you're not up to 25 million.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Let's go back to NAFDAC for a second. Someone is asking, please can Mr. Ayankop give answers to these questions? What is the advantage of registering each product as against registering just the food facility? Also, why does it take so long to register a product in Nigeria? Further, if NAFDAC gives fast registration for products from some countries, is NAFDAC considering collaborating with such countries to make Nigerian products have easier access into those countries? So it's a question for Mr. Ayankop.
Okay, thank you. Can you just remind me the first question?
First question, what is the advantage of registering each individual product as against registering the food facility?
Okay, actually, by our law, we don't register facilities, we register products. Even though we carry out inspection of the facility that produces or holds the product for us. We inspect it for GMP, but we don't register them. And we stipulate that the GMP must be up to our standard before we can register the product. But we register only products and we recognize only products in our system. That handles the first question. Now, the other question about other countries, we being able to collaborate with other countries. Yes, actually there are rules and there are requirements for this collaboratory procedure. For us to be able to recognize or expedite or facilitate or accept the registration of a product in our client, there are a lot of requirements, but these are not done by, it's not a political decision. Those basic requirements have to be met before such things are done, and they are done at the very technical level. So yes, it is possible, but it's not my decision to make. There are technical requirements for those kind of registration collaborative procedure.
Okay, so Mr. Ayankop, I have registered some products. Now I want to do a bigger pack size. Why must I come back again to come and register a bigger pack with NAFDAC with all the attendant costs? Why is it necessary to do so? There's a question here.
Well, I think when people want to register products, the essence is you're asking NAFDAC to back up, to stand behind that your product. If I register a bottle of water, I can export that water to any country. Once they see NAFDAC number, they want to be sure that this product passed through NAFDAC and therefore it has the requisite quality. Now, that quality, that pronouncement of NAFDAC is not free. It's a service. We take those samples to the lab, we buy the chemicals, and the chemicals are bought in the international market.
No, sir, they're saying you have already tested it. You have tested 50 CL.
That's
now
fine. Let me
doing
explain. When you
75
change,
CL.
yes, when the charges are not the same. If you are doing a pack size extension, for instance, they just charge you a fraction of the cost of the registration. And the reason is because the integrity of the packaging material and every other thing having to do with the pack size extension have to be certified. NAFDAC has to guarantee that in this packaging, this product and the shelf life in the new packaging has to be up to our requirement. And all these things are services that have to be paid for. So yes, NAFDAC will register pack size extensions or change in packaging designs and so forth. But those things are not free because they are services that NAFDAC renders. When people put cost as the only reason, the issue challenging their production or their business, it becomes more of a problem. If you need a product of high quality and you want NAFDAC to stand behind your product, you will have to give what it takes for us to have that certification.
Okay, a similar question here. Why is it that they have to get import permits every year before they can import chemicals for their production? Every year. Is this what happens everywhere in the world?
Import permits, you import every year, so you pay every year. You import a chemical every year.
This is part of the cost of doing business that NAFDAC is just pushing up for its own administrative charges.
Sir,
that's the feeling.
The people who import products, they pay the service for the people they import. They pay the custom duties. Is it what NAFDAC has a statutory responsibility? And how much is import permits? How much is the tariff for import permits? I think the inspection is, the last time I did some years ago, it was like 5,000. I do not know how such a big, I don't think permits to import is such a big deal that will impact so excessively on the cost. Yes, I'm not saying it is not free, it is free, but then those are services that NAFDAC renders. And therefore, they have to be paid for. We are not, those charges are statutory charges and they are in our tariffs.
Yes, they are just asking why they are there, sir. We understand that you have the power to charge it. That's why it is charged. That is understood. But the question is, what is the necessity? Why? It's a different thing. Okay, if you say customs charges, customs duties when you bring it in, okay, but people are still complaining also because customs is supposed to be for trade facilitation, not just revenue generation. So yes, these days it appears like revenue generation has overtaken trade facilitation. In fact, trade is dying because it's not being facilitated. It's the same kind of question you're being asked. That is it that you should charge just because you can, because you provided a service, so therefore you must charge something for it in every situation? I think this is the kind of issue. I understand that it's not a question you can answer, sir, but just to put it on record that this is the feeling and this is the agitation on the part of those who use your services, which is why
sir,
it's coming up as a question.
I just say a word? Thank you very much for your comment.
Please go on.
NAFDAC does not register chemicals. Therefore, we don't charge for registration. We charge for inspection. We charge for monitoring. All these services that NAFDAC renders come with attract fees, service fees. Now, the essence of inspecting chemicals is for monitoring. We are already having issues in this country over chemical abuse, chemical diversion, bombs and explosions, explosives, terrorists, and so on. All these are consequences of poor control, poor monitoring, and poor control of chemicals. If NAFDAC takes his hands off, and the government in his wisdom gave NAFDAC the mandate to monitor and regulate importation of chemicals, the government understands his reason why that is done.
Which SON is also doing, and in which case, in some cases, NDLEA will also do the same thing. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Yanko, for that I want to let the workshop know that in my own statutory daily activities, I'm involved in the issuance of import permits. And then the question is like directly to my desk. Why do we have to be reviewing and issuing import permits every year? I want to start by letting us know that there is no certification that does not have a shelf life. No registration, no certification that does not have a shelf life all over the world. And there are some countries globally in the international community that issue permits for importation of raw materials as per product per time. So if you are importing in January 20 metric tons of caustic soda, you go, you get permit for it, you bring it in, you continue your production. But we are a developing country. We decided to say, okay, import maximum of 25, we give you a charge for it. Maximum of 25 items on your permit, we give you a charge for it. We call it a page. So if you go more than 25, another 25, you have another charge for it. Before I come to the charges, let me go to why are we doing that. One, it will be on record that all import permits expire December 31st of every year, irrespective of the date the permit is issued to you. If you come for your permit in November, it will expire December 31st. If you get your permit January 2nd, it will expire December 31st. So that's why we tell our stakeholders, do your planning. Whatever you envisage, put it on your permit. For the fact that you have some product on your permit and you didn't import them, it is not a violation and it has no consequence. If you put 3 products, you are paying the same amount like the person that put 25 products for the one page. Okay? Now, why we do this is, for one, we have to get our data correctly. I've been privileged to be at WTO meeting. I've been privileged to be in Codex meeting. And one major problem we have in Nigeria that is also impeding trade is data. We don't have accurate data. So for us to have a data of the record of what you import per annum, we have to have a deadline of December. Now, regulation is dynamic. Some of the participants in this workshop will agree with me. In 2007 to 2010, caustic soda is not a control chemical. Up to 2015, thereabout. But at the peak of the insurgents, we have to do a review based on security advice, and such chemical is now being reclassified. And the reason is for security reasons, 2, for quality and efficacy, and 3, because due to the insecurity, a lot of adulteration stepped in, and people are blending urea and all this ammonia with other chemicals that can have the ability of masking them, just for them to beat the system and use them for evil acts. So all these were profiled, and we now reclassify some. So we can have a permit that can be indefinite, that once you get this permit, it exists for 5 years, 10 years, or forever. No, we won't have room to be able to do all this review. And don't forget that most of these regulations that we're following are legal instruments that are subjected to litigation. Now, let me come to where bothers us in this workshop, the cost. Many things happen out there, and many of us in this workshop, if you are sincere with me, you will agree with me. I have seen clients crying that why will he be paying 3 million for a 2-page permit? He gave it to a consultant to process for him, and the consultant is charging him apparently 40,000 per product on that page. So many things happen. Our cost for the permit is on the website. If you are coming for the first time, you pay about 170,000 naira for one page. If you are coming back for renewal, it comes down by 50%. So the neighborhood of 80,000, which is because we already have your profile. All what we need to do with your review is to look at the products you have there. Are you adding new ones? If you're having new ones, can we check the safety and the safety data sheet? If it's not satisfactory, we go on to literature to look at it. And within 14 days, we must have done by law, we must have done anything we want to do. Is it that we approve or we disapprove with a reason? But we've seen people that will come to NAFDAC and tell us, my permit has been with you for the past 3 months. Then I will wonder, what are we doing for 3 months? When we probe into it, is it that it takes 2 months before the so-called consultant submits, and he submitted irrelevant documents? We query that this is the document we want, not this one that you are uploading. People are uploading the picture of their house, where we ask for the address of warehouse, the address of your warehouse, and they will not put any address. Then we'll give a CD. Can you please write your address? We want to visit the place. And it will take somebody 1 month to know the address of his warehouse that we are seeing in the picture. So many things happen that are irregular. So the charge for the renewal is not, I can tell you authoritatively that it is with VAT, with all the VAT and the remitter charges and everything, is in the neighborhood of 85,000. So we review it for regulatory sake, for safety reason, and for even international dynamics. Recently, HS code is being reviewed, and most of the permits that are in process, the HS code is no longer valid for it. So we need to go back and review that. Some are coming back for reissuance because of this. So it's a dynamic thing. We can't make it a straitjacket that have no closure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tunde. We are very, very grateful. There is a plea, a big plea from Binta Tanko Idris, saying, please, NAFDAC, consider small-scale business owners. As a startup, we don't have much money to do all these requirements. Please help us to reduce the amount to our pocket size. Please, please. So the reason I brought that one up now is to show that somehow I think there might be a need to look at the way we have done the classifications, the way we have done some of the transactions. We certainly understand the value of NAFDAC. We certainly understand the value of the work you do and the importance. Many of us who look at products in supermarkets, first thing we check is for a NAFDAC number. If it's not there, we ain't buying it. So clearly, if it is not that NAFDAC is doing such a good job, it will not become part of our culture in this way. However, having said that, there are still some outliers that seem to be suffering as a result of the process, not as a result of whether your activities are justified or not, or whether your activities are important or not. We agree they're important. We agree what you're doing is justified. We're just saying there might be a need to have maybe a meeting with some of the business membership organizations, again, to look at those who are falling outside your intention. So it's not NAFDAC's intention to punish anybody with costs. It is their intention to make sure things are going smoothly, to see whether there is still anything that can be looked at again. So
okay,
yeah,
sir.
there are many.
Sorry, sir. Let
yes,
me quickly,
sir.
because the last person you quoted, I can feel the pain from the statement you made. I can feel, and like I said, we're also human beings. We have friends, we have family, we have relations. Do you know, let me let you know, sir, and let all the participants take note of this. When we hear permit, we have different classes of permits. Some people don't know. If you are a medium or small scale industry that want to maybe, let's say, start with product development, and some of your raw material are not locally available, you want to import them. And even maybe the person giving you from abroad is also a mentor that wants to encourage you in that product development. You perhaps you are not even paying for it, and you want to bring it in. We have another class of permits that accommodate that.
Okay.
Okay. Then for students that are into research or research institute or university students that are doing projects, we have another permit that covers their needs. Okay. So now,
Yes,
like the person I just talked now, perhaps you are into product development, you want to look at, can I develop this thing using polyester, polystyrene, ABC, and all that, which we don't have locally. You have to approach NAFDAC, make a letter to the DG. If you are in a state, maybe you don't need to come to Lagos or go to Abuja because of that. Do your letter. Visit the nearest NAFDAC office to you. Explain your intention. I'm into R&D. I want to develop ABC. These are my projection. These are my view. Yes. Then they can give you appropriate classification.
You might have so much people here.
So
and they decide to be making you both down on, or visitors come.
Sorry,
are you
don't you have visitors?
Dr. Tunde,
as a clergy, are you saying people don't visit you?
Sorry, whoever that is, can you please mute your microphone?
Yeah.
I think that's
interrupting the workshop. Thank you. Apologies, Dr. Tunde.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what I'm trying to drive out is that don't let us see it every time when you are getting permit, it must be the full commercial blown permit that you are going for.
To be in one of
your purpose.
That's why
please, now, 1 second. LCCI, please, can you find out whose mic is still on besides Dr. Tunde?
So that, say, when somebody is going,
and please just silence the person.
That place, you know, you are. This will have access. For example, these things are open. What on when you are not around?
Okay, thank you. So if what we're doing,
so you must have a dedicated place in the kitchen, both for the finished.
I think my point is made. So let us be free to assess NAFDAC office close to us, explain our peculiarity so that we can be properly classified, so that we don't just begin to pay for what we have not even started, a product that have not even entered the market, and you are paying like somebody
what to do.
like Unilever that has been in existence before I was born. So let's
tell us what you do here. We have not want to see what you do.
Okay, bring the soap and the if I want to.
Dr. Tunde, thank you very much for your contribution. Once again, we apologize for all of these interruptions. We're not sure where all of this is coming from. Apologies. Apologies.
It is the spirit of the new normal. The spirit of the new normal. We get cut off several times, but it's the new normal, which will be well gradually.
Sorry, is that Mr. Rabiu? Because are you the one who has been interrupting the meeting, sir?
I have never interrupted the meeting.
In summary, what we understand from NAFDAC is you should avoid using consultants, because they don't necessarily add any value to you. They add unnecessary costs. They also add unnecessary delays. That's issue number one. Number two, if you find that the things you see on the NAFDAC website do not fit your scenario, don't go ahead and pay. Go to a NAFDAC office, explain your own scenario to them, because there might be some other licenses or other routes that are available to you that you may not have noticed. It's better to ask those questions upfront than complain later. On the issue of taxation, I know many people are still asking the same basic questions about tax pro, max, and so on. I think we have agreed that if you have any further difficulties, for example, on obtaining your tax clearance certificate or understanding, I mean, there's a question there about when you start paying your taxes. You start paying your taxes when you start your business, except you have a particular, you are registered under a particular legislation that gives you a tax holiday. There is no tax holiday. So except the classification of your registration says that you are exempt, then you are not exempt. So just assume that you have to pay the taxes. Maybe I should allow Mr. Chinedu Adirije to give us some closing remarks in that area from this Q&A session. Mr. Adirije, please go on.
Thank you very much. Okay, so it's not as if there are certain things in the law that say when you start paying your taxes. The law says once you register a business that you're supposed to register with certain agencies, and FIRS is one of such agencies. Normally, the law says you should register with FIRS after 6 months of your registration with CAC. But this time around, CAC has, we've incorporated ourselves to each other in the sense that most times, once you register with CAC, if you look beneath your registration document, you see the tax identification number. It's expected that anybody that goes to register with CAC has intention of starting a business. So after 6 months, you're supposed to come and register, open a file, then you also register for tax promas, you start logging in your monthly VAT returns, and annually your company income tax. For small businesses specifically, though, they are not supposed to file with FIRS with their company income tax. They're supposed to file with their state board of internal revenue. So if you're a small, medium company, when I say small from CAC classification, we're talking about those who are not limited liability. They call them enterprises. So for those who are not limited liability company, they are supposed to register dual ways with the State Board of Internal Revenue. That's where they file their company income tax. And with FIRS for VAT purposes. And for VAT purposes, you're supposed to file on or before the 21st of the subsequent month. So for January, you've done business. You have the privilege to use federal government money up to the 21st of February. That's when you're supposed to file whatever VAT you've collected. And it's also compulsory that you must file whether you collect the VAT or not. So you must go to the portal and file. Okay, yes, I did business, but none was vatable. Or I didn't even do any business at all. My turnover was 0. You file for record purpose. If you don't do that, the law says you'll be charged penalty. And if you had collected VAT and you did not remit, the law says you file, you pay interest on that money, because actually you use government money to do business, and also penalty on it. So we should be guided correctly. But like the man said, the anchor man here, Mr. Soji said, if you have any difficulty, please, our offices are scattered virtually everywhere. It's very easy to locate. You can also go to our website, www.firs.gov.ng, to locate your nearest FIRS office to actually make inquiries. Again, the contact center number he showed to you during the slide is one of, you can ask any questions from the contact center. They'll be able to probably direct it to a technical person if it's not something they will answer. I don't think we're able to have any, the federal government loves MSMEs, and they are always doing things that make the business easy for you, because only when you grow to become big company, they're able to pay tax that we use to develop this country. So we love you. We want to make things easy. The last time the vice president make up so many this thing for MSMEs to come up to actually grow. So we don't think that the government hates you. That is why for FIRS, for example, said if you're earning 25 million naira and above, they're not supposed to pay tax. For me, that's a good incentive to encourage you to actually
Sorry
grow
to
your
interrupt
business.
you, Mr. Adurije. Do you need a TCC, even though you are not paying tax? At least that just shows 000. Do you need a TCC under 25 million?
You need a tax clearance. You need a tax clearance because some company will not, part of the registration, let's assume you want to register with any government agencies now for contract purposes. One of the documents that will require is for you to actually bring your tax clearance certificates. And how do you show? You must show that you've gone to this tax clearance. That a lot of things they look for tax clearance. So when they see 000, it says two things. It tells the people that you want to do business with that either you've not started business, because some people really are not commenced business, or you've commenced business, or your turnover is less than 25 million, so nothing is showing. Or you've had so much business, you do 100, 1 billion and all that. Also, okay, because from the tax clearance certificate too, company were able to deduct, okay, this guy is a big player. He has the capacity to carry out this particular business we want him. Or it's only when you register with FIRS that you're able to get that tax clearance certificate. You apply for it, and once we see that you don't have any issue, we're going to issue it.
Okay. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This has been a very interesting question and answer session. I think that we've dealt with the more substantial ones. I mean, people are asking, how do you register a consultant on the FIRS portal? FIRS, how are you going to integrate other systems like the one on VAT with your Tax Pro and so on? You know, all of those are now getting into some technical detail, but I think for the basics that we are here for today, I think that the gentlemen have done justice, and the lady who also spoke earlier have done justice to the issues and to the questions. So please, we should report to our chambers of commerce if we have any issues. We now have contact people in both NAFDAC and FIRS, and they will be ready to give you the kind of responses, prompt responses to your questions if you send it that way. So if I can hand over back to Mr. Okorafor at this point. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Soji, you've done very well. You deserve an applaud. That was a passionate and exhaustive session right there. We want to appreciate you, Mr. Soji. At this point in time, please, we would like to quickly launch a poll on the chat. Please, our audience, kindly check the chat and fill out the poll that will just be posted right now. Thank you very much. Yeah, before I call on the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Chinyere Almona, FCA, for the closing remarks and vote of thanks, I would quickly like to get remarks from the presidents and DGs of Chambers of Commerce here present. I would, just a minute, I beg your pardon, I would like to quickly call on Mr. Aliyu Mustafa Muhammad, DG Kano Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mines and Agriculture for his remarks. After which, Chief Jerry Kalu, President, Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, will come up and to be rounded up by Honorable Ahmad Rabiu, the National Vice President, Natsima. So please, we just have 1 minute each for each and every one of you, distinguished individuals, before the closing remarks by the Director General. Mr. Liu, you have the floor. Okay, while we wait for Mr. Liu, Chief Jerry Kalu. do we have Chief Jerry Kalu? Okay, we'll just go ahead. Honorable Ahmad Rabiu, can you just share your input 1 minute with us?
I want to thank you very much and particularly congratulate LCCI for keeping the flag flying all the time and doing a robust engagement. These are part of the things that we must be doing to our members, bringing them up to speed, bringing the relevant agencies to speak to them. I have seen the stream of questions, but really time is not on our side. I will just say that every member should always make it a point to participate in this kind of forums. And importantly, in addition to whatever else happened now, I believe all those that have registered should have copy of, you should share the recording with them, and then also continue to share the basic requirements online through all our various channels. So thank you so very much, and particularly for the moderation. You have done an excellent job. It's not easy standing on for close to 2.5 hours now, but I must congratulate all those who have been able to make contributions and express profound appreciation, and say that to the LCCI and all the key operators, congratulations for keeping the flag flying. And in NASIMA, definitely every time anything topical is being looked at, LCCI is being recognized and respected. So thank you so very much from the president, all of you, and to all those who participated. Thank you so very much. Have my best regards.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Ahmad Rabiu. You are very welcome. At this point in time, I'll quickly like to call on the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Chinyere Almona, FCA, to give the closing remarks and the vote of thanks. Madam, you have the floor.
Thanks, Eze. Can you hear me clearly?
Clearly, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, the Director General, NAFDAC, Mr. Mohammed Mamani Nami, the Executive Chairman of FIRS, Mrs. Omowumi Badamosi, the Country Director of SIPE, Nigeria, Chief Jerry Kalu, the President, Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Mr. Aliyu Mustafa Muhammad, the DG Kano Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Mr. Soji Apampa, CEO, Convention on Business Integrity, presidents, officers, council members, and members of sister and bilateral Chamber of Commerce and Industry, executives and officers of all organized private sector, members of public-private working group on FIRS and NAFDAC, officers of the organized private sector, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to present the vote of thanks to close this sensitization workshop on FIRS and NAFDAC processes being hosted and organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry with the support of the Center for International Private Enterprise in collaboration with the Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mine and Agriculture and Kanu Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. It's been a very active engagement this afternoon. I have listened from the time we started, and great deliberation and sharing of information. And I believe all participants will attest to the fact that our resource persons have delivered value for the time they have spent here. Since the establishment of NAFDAC in 1993, the Apex Food and Drug Regulatory Agency has been championing standardization of food products within Nigeria, fighting pervasive drug counterfeiting, and continue to mitigate influx of illicit drugs into our country. These and many other innovative measures by NAFDAC have given our private sector the ability to inject fresh capital as well as scaled up investment in the food and health sector. Similarly, FIRS through her successive dynamic leadership, has been playing important roles in our economic development strides. The FIRS has impacted positively government revenue generation, bolstered fiscal position of national and subnational governments, facilitated ease of doing business, and generally enforced development of the Nigeria economy. We at LCCI deeply appreciate the presence here today of important dignitaries from both the public and the private sector of the economy, the organized private sector, civil society, as well as the diplomatic community. On behalf of the Council and members of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I wish to express our profound appreciation to the DG of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, and the Executive Chairman of FIRS, Mr. Mohammed Maman Nami, for their support to LCCI in the execution of this project to ensure the integrity of practices within the private sector. I especially thank Chief Jerry Kalu, the President of Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, Sir Lawrence Obeta, JP, immediate past President of ESIMA, and immediate past President of ESIMA, and the DG of the Kanu Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Aliyu Mustafa Muhammad, and Mr. Soji, the CEO of CBI, for your valued contribution and support to the progress of this very valuable project within the organized private sector. I also wish to thank the leadership of SIPE for the technical and financial support. We value your cooperation and commitment to the LCCI cause and initiatives. We acknowledge the passionate commitment of all Chamber of Commerce, business member organizations, and professional associations that have mobilized their members to this very great event. All participants who have joined on this call today are well acknowledged and appreciated. We also recognize the efforts of all the speakers and organizing committee for this webinar for their valuable contribution towards the successful sensitization workshop. Distinguished participants, putting this event together was a challenging one, but we decided to give it a try because we need to change the misgiving that perpetuate negative and accusation between public and private sector to narrative of collaboration, cooperation, and mutual respect. I hope you have identified areas of concerns and have a few takeaways. Looking at the chat box, I see a few comments indicating that this session has been valuable and that those who participated have benefited from their engagement in this session. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate that the task of strengthening Nigeria's regulatory and business environment is a collective responsibility. Every stakeholder, including ministries, departments, and agencies, business member organizations, chambers of commerce, trade associations, professional associations, and other private sector stakeholders have equal important roles to play in championing courses that promote accountability, transparency, and efficiency in the transactional interactions between government agencies and businesses. All hands must be on deck to make Nigeria globally competitive. I can't finish this vote of thanks without thanking my team, who have worked very hard from the inauguration of the working group and been able to pull this together to ensure that this sensitization session is held and that it dovetails into the outcome of the project. So I say thank you to all my team members, specifically Rotimi, who has worked really hard, Busayo, Eze, who is our compere today. I want to thank all you for all your work. I want to also thank Sonny for the leadership he has provided for this project. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we give thanks to the Almighty God for making this day a reality. Once again, I thank you all for being here today. I thank you all for your kind attention. Back to you, Eze.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma DG. That was a very fantastic remark there, closing remark there. We, at this point in time, will be drawing the curtain. But before we close this session, I would also want to encourage us to fill out the form, fill out the poll that have been launched. This will help us harvest robust feedbacks to send to our various guest speakers, the companies, NAFDAC and FIRS, in order to get their responses and send back to participants here present. I would like to appreciate you all for making yourselves available to be present amid the very busy schedule that you've engaged or that you are engaged in already. I would like to appreciate each and every one of us. Please let us keep the conversations going on our social media platforms. Please follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn at Lagos Chamber, and also on Instagram and Twitter at Lagos Chamber 88. Please also visit our Facebook, our YouTube page at Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you very much for your attention, for participating actively. You're all welcome and have a good day. Bye-bye.
LCCI.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and with over 2,500 corporate members, we offer the best networking platform for business and profitability. Come talk to us today on how to become a member of the foremost Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. For more information, please visit our corporate headquarters at Commerce House, 1 Idowu Taylor Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, or visit our website on www.lagoschamber.com to learn more. LCCI, giving your business a voice. As a corporate entity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing environment, being part of a good network of business professionals and thought leaders is all you need to take your business to the next level. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, we guarantee the promotion of trade, sound business ethic, and public policy advocacy that will help your business succeed. Founded in 1888 and